And broadcast is running.
Okay. Exciting. Did you install the pip install, all that stuff?
I'm pretty sure I have all the packages.
Okay.
Pretty sure. If not, you can install them. I think that's good. I have root set up with no password, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Perfect. Okay.
And if you encounter, if the computer goes to sleep, click on Earth 3 times.
What?
It'll make sense. It's a picture password. Click on Earth 3 times.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Hey guys, you know how I've been making fun of Apple and all the other technologies and all that stuff and laughing at slow processing. My computer had a SQL meltdown. I think I was teaching on Saturday and it gave me blue screen and has since not decided to come back. So that's what happened to my computer. So now I am in the boat where I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, the reason for that is, again, I'll tell you that if you're working on something on your computer, like Finapto writes to your disk first and then uploads it to the server. So it's engaging your disk when every single second, and then you run MySQL, which is every disk operation because your server's on your disk. Boom! It doesn't like it, and I think I hope I didn't lose the data. I finally ended up outsourcing that job. So I'll know what happens. But anyways, that's the story of my computer. I was considering not teaching, but thank you to Nolan and Sanya both offered their computer, and we're not running for that one. Cool. We don't have Finapto, but we have YouTube, some way of capturing that. It doesn't write through this, so it hopefully, I don't know if it writes through this, but hopefully, Nolan, hopefully, I will not make fun of any systems, anything anymore. I'm a strong believer in karma. It always is true. I find it true. So take back all my comments about things. Anyway, so here we are. I think the key concept that we learned last week was to work with the SQL databases and look at things different ways. Make sure that we can select, create all that stuff, all of this stuff. And this week is advanced SQL. Primarily, we're going to go and look into how to use what we learned in Python, and kind of bring all of it together. So, remember Python long time ago, we learned that. And so if you had a way to import, export data sets in CSV, that's of course not efficient. A good thing will be to go look at the SQL ways of connecting to that. You can connect SQL to your Python. So first thing I think, and I have some packages that you guys need to install. So if you could go and install these couple of packages on your computer, that would be good. And I'll use the black marker. So it's conda install. And Nolan, if you can please help me push this to Slack. -C, right in one line, okay? And so I'm just writing it into Anaconda. And the package that we are going to use is SQL Alchemy. Yeah.
From the command line?
From your command or GitHub or wherever you used to do conda install. That's the one don't type the one. And then second, conda install. And also you should have it on Slack. So if you want to just use that, -C Anaconda. By my SQL. Okay. So these are the two packages that we're gonna use. Let me see if there's anything else that we need to use, but okay. So go ahead, run it. Okay, there's one more. There's one more.
Is it big capital C or small C? Doesn't matter.
No, it's too small.
I've uploaded those commands.
Did you do this one also? Conda install hyphen small c anaconda, and then SQLite. Okay. Okay, that should be it.
It gives me an error if I say conda install hyphen C.
Really?
It says expected is 1 hour.
I have to put all that first.
It's one line.
That's what
It's
it
one
is.
line.
Yeah, it's one line.
So you can't. You have to write the whole statement. You can't do that.
I don't do that. Conda install my hyphen C. This is what is
Hyphen C anaconda SQL. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The whole thing. The whole thing. Sorry, I
Really copy and paste.
that copy and paste stuff.
Class announcements.
Oh, shit.
Okay, and also another admin announcement is I am attending my work-related Christmas party on Wednesday. So, good, right? Free drinks. Yeah. Yeah. So
no class, right?
no, that's we will have a sub for that class.
Is it gonna be Sandy?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really can't skip the party. So let's say that. I even considered it. I did.
I hope my company's Christmas party lands on Friday, and you can't charge me empties. I can't skip my.
Well, I'm not getting paid for that day. Let's put it that way. Okay. So I'm not getting paid for that day. So of course I'm taking damage too.
Alright, I knew
And I'm not hoping to have as much fun that I would if I were here and teaching the class and taking money. So
All the commands are on Slack. Just go to Slack.
Well, I'll tell them otherwise. I'll say I was losing
Yeah.
XYZ amount of dollars. But no, I think
Jupyter Notebook, lesson plans, you can navigate from within that. This is the same folder to get to stuff. You can go in here. Yeah. And it's also open here.
got it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so okay. So is that installed? Have we, each one of you has it on your desk? Not yet? Okay, it's working. Okay, got it. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this one, and you're still in. Let your processes still run. I'm going to test this guy. Let's see if it that work. That work. It's working. So wait.
Is it possible to zoom in a little bit on the text?
Sure. No problem. Okay, so that one, this one's not working. Okay. Interesting. Okay, it's timing out. It shouldn't. It's actually, so what I'll tell you what this is doing. This is the package we imported. We're saying create engine. What create engine does is it basically connects your database. This is on AWS, Amazon AWS, right? So they have already created, let's say we have already a data set and the connection details and everything. Nolan, can you try if it's running for you? Because it could be just purely my connection. Sure. No. Is it working from your machine? Okay. Cool. Okay. So it's basically helping you create a connection to a remote desktop and remote machine. This is the port number. This is probably the password. This is the connection string. Okay. So let's do this. CMD command prompt to a MySQL database online. Okay, so you will probably have an Amazon or somewhere your SQL will be online, and then so basically it's doing that. But let's see.
Trying to run this and getting it timed out here, please raise your hand. I'm pretty sure it's still your connection.
From our network. That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't happen. Totally. Yeah, I know. It's timing out, so I'm trying to see what we can do.
What if you allow unprotected? Like unprotected Wi-Fi? Because no one else is using it. You can use mine, like my login.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Your EGU Roam login.
I still have mine, yeah, mine still
Yeah.
works.
It should work now.
Establish this.
Guess whose was slower and died?
It works.
Okay, thank you. What? Yeah, you know, I kind of am going to get the SSD to see if it.
I understand. I thought you had, okay, fine.
I mean, if you, yeah.
Oh no, it didn't work. If you're like on an unprotected network, it probably doesn't want, it kind of filters out your request to unknown servers, like it's telling you maybe.
Did anyone make? Some people got it to work, right? Raise your hand if the script ran without issue. Anyone?
Okay, so that it's working. I don't know.
Who's raising hands?
It was just too many.
Sherry and Chef Ali could run it. Did you run it?
Yeah.
And it doesn't go.
Like this is the second time I'm running it. It's not trying to do so. This time I'm trying.
Yeah, I will take it.
That, no, that's not good, but okay, let's focus on the concepts for now. Let's just get through it.
Maybe we can use our phone as a hotspot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If you have a phone that you can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't know, that's my name.
Well, you don't have unlimited?
I feel like that's pretty much.
It's just not working. I'm getting it.
So what it did was earlier it was failing because you were not able to. I wasn't getting any error as such, but just the timeout, which is wasn't letting me run the data. So in this, you import a package back to concepts, then you import this one to get to use all the packages from the two install libraries that we did, and then basically you're creating an engine. Creating an engine is basically telling the system to create a connection to the data set. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. And then passing the SQL connection in that particular one with the server name, and these are gibberish for now, but this MySQL is on Amazon AWS port number 3306, and so on and so forth. So you have that. You establish a connection. Most likely, it's going to be a MySQL in the cloud. Then you run it. You running it is engine execute select star from sequence. So basically, after this, engine.execute. Engine is the data connection that we defined here, right? And then so it's telling where it's almost like where you were specifying the CSV file location, right? So you're basically initializing where your CSV file is. So you're initializing where your data is. Dot execute, and then your SQL statement, whatever that may be. Okay. And then and then you have to print it. So you say for record and data print record. Okay. So that just print that's not beautiful. We don't like this. So what should we do? How would we like to visualize our data set, Johnny? We learned a beautiful way of looking at it. What was that called? Creating data frames.
Oh.
Creating data frames, right? So you want to look at this from a data frame perspective. So let's see if we can do that really easily. But so let's go here, and then well, before that, yeah, let's just okay. So you got to create a database ice cream DB and connect to this work stream. Let's see. See, this is okay. So okay, so you go to root first. So you're basically going in and creating that database. You don't have that database right now, and so you can go in and then go to okay. Okay, so close this. Sakila. Okay, perfect. And then create database stream DB. Okay, create database ice cream DB. Okay, should create that database. Is there now? Let's go and import the file, right? So we know how to do that ice cream DB file, like going in and then.
I'm sorry. Are we on exercise 2?
Yes. Oh, by the way, did you guys understand what exercise 1 was about? Like, sorry, I moved in really fast there. Did you not understand? Okay, well, very good. So here is what we did. So, okay. Let me open that again. Good stuff. So stop me. Thanks for bringing that up. First thing, did you understand what we did by installing those packages? Okay. Sarah, what did we do? Why did we install those packages? Absolutely correct. So that those packages help us communicate with SQL. They have functions that are written. Like for example, if I want to connect to MySQL, we are not doing that. We're not connecting to databases. The reason why we're not connecting to databases is not because we couldn't. It was because we wanted to help you understand databases first before we go to databases and connect to databases. We didn't want to make that assumption. So now we learn about databases. Databases is where we store data. And so now we are going to make use of more real life kind of Python use where you connect to databases and get data from databases, right? So, Shefali, you work in a company where you have these SQL server databases. You can now, using these SQL packages, connect to those databases, and so you don't have to export it to CSV. Now you remember she was telling me that she exported some file to CSV and then did all that stuff in Python and showed the output to their coworkers, right? So she doesn't have to now do that. She can just connect to her database directly, given that you know the ports and all that options that exist in the firewall you can create query from your work laptop, then you can connect to boom. Your data sets, and now she can immediately start using Python skills and to learn the data set that she has in her SQL Server instance. Okay, so she doesn't have to export to CSV and all that stuff. So that's the kind of use case. So we're learning that these are the two packages. These are the three packages that you need today. So we install those, and then so database. Where is my database? This is the database. Right now, this is an Amazon AWS database. I've been talking about Amazon AWS. It's a really cool way of helping you use servers that are online. We talked about this. That are online that you can just spin up as in create, and install databases there. That way, you don't have to have a room, an IT room. For those who have seen those in companies, they will have a dedicated room of servers where you have all the servers and racks and stuff like that, where everything goes. You don't need that in your building. It's somewhere in Amazon. Benefits of having that with Amazon, they cheaper because it's really cost efficient to buying those things and putting them in the building and maintaining them with 2 people. Amazon takes care of all of that. One. Second, good thing about that is it's all in the cloud, which means Amazon guarantees that you will never lose the data. So not only are you getting out of doing administration, earlier I have seen companies where there is a air conditioning line running about or a cooling line or something running about the server room. Guess what happens? Something leaks and then water gets in the server room, everything's fine. Or earthquake happens, or fire happens in the building. All your data is lost. So Amazon takes care of it. It will, not just Amazon, but Google and Microsoft, when you deal with cloud, basically replicating all your data and servers in some location. It has to exist somewhere. We talked about this. It's mostly in states like Utah, Ohio, Denver, where where cooling costs are low because servers generate a lot of heat, so you can just suck the air from outside and cool your servers, right? So that's and then land it cheap, right? So anyway, so that's your Amazon AWS instance. So when you go to Amazon AWS, you will basically create an account, like how we did for Google API, right? If you create something like that, you create an account, you provide your credit card, boom, they will give you an access to create a database. And not only that, like remember how you have to go through the steps of installing MySQL uh, on your system with a lot of stuff, they will basically have a push button. They will have a toggle. You say like, you know how you install Microsoft apps on your computer. It's that simple. You boom, connect it. You give them how big of an instance you need. Really save your computer from crashing like mine because you have an instance on Amazon. I was actually considering doing that because, and then it will come with prepackaged edits. Okay, so that's Amazon AWS. So here, now we're creating a connection to Amazon AWS. There are passwords and links. So this is provided by us, right? So we have that, but then why it doesn't work for everyone? Because if everyone is through this Wi-Fi trying to take that and get that data, probably UCSD, yes. Oh, okay. So probably UCSD has a policy that if someone's trying to do some malicious activity by hitting some kind of Amazon AWS server, stop those connections in that is why. Okay. So this line is just showing that. Then we go to the next thing, which is query all records in the database. Okay. So here we saw that we created a, this is, I told you, like we are assigning whatever value on this other side to this variable. This variable that we're defining is called engine. Engine is a variable that gets created by having this function, create engine. Create engine requires certain kind of things. You can also look at this later, and this comes from your one of your libraries. The SQL Alchemy library gives create engine function. We imported that function. We define this variable called engine. Now, engine is what our database. So we're telling, hey, engine is this is what my database is. Why are we doing that? Because we want to start querying stuff. So now we're saying data equal to engine.execute. Data equal to engine.execute. Select star from census data. Okay, so we're telling you go to that Amazon web server. There's a census data. There's a database that has census data table. Go pull that information from the census data table, and that is exactly what you see in the response. But the way to print anything here is for every record in data. So for every record in data, print the record. Okay, so that's what's happening. So how many? The bunch of records in this table. It's ugly. I can't read this. And that's why I asked the question. Well, how would we read things better? And go answer database. Okay. Okay. So is everybody with me now? Everything is clear. Okay. So now we're moving on to the exercise 2. So go to the second exercise. Second exercise tells you to query certain things from a database called ice cream DB. Ice cream database. I don't think I have that database on my computer right now. So for that reason, what I was trying to do is going in here and importing that table that has that database, right? So basically, it's saying create a database ice cream DB, which we created just now. Connect to ice cream DB in MySQL Workbench. Okay, well, that's what I did. So I went and connected to ice cream DB. Now there are no tables, so it's asking me to do the third thing. So if you have the README file for that particular exercise open, you'll see that, okay, create a table ice cream store of 5 or more ice cream flavors, each of which should have a rating of out of 100, and price, make sure that costs. So in the interest of time, I'm just showing you this. You have that particular information in my files here. I'm just okay. Activities, ice cream store here, and before I go there, the sources, and this is the CSV file. Okay, well, I don't want a CSV file. I want to write a SQL, right? So open with Notepad, and I have that ice cream store database, but let's where did I go? Okay. Sorry. Okay, here. So I want to import this ice cream store database, right? So data. So let me see if I have anything in here. Open with Excel. Okay, so there are five. Remember we learned this, right? We cancel. We have 5 or more data points that we wanted to enter. So ID, flavors. So these are stores and the different flavors in that. And then this is a price, right? So if I want to import this file, so I'm going to cheat a little bit because I can do a create table statement and then create the table and do inserts into statements to insert the data set. But we learned that we can import data from a CSV. So why not just use that? And so I'm going to create a CSV, cheat a little bit, and just go ahead and import it from the CSV. Is that clear? Everyone with me? Lauren, are you getting what I'm trying to do?
I already imported it.
Very good. Nice. Okay. So you know why. Okay. So, okay. This is stuck. Okay. Yeah. So you go in here, see. Stuck. Okay. It's stuck because I'm already there. Sorry. My bad. Yeah. Yep.
What happens if we run that SQL code with the ice cream store?
It will create the basically all these constraints on that database. So basically, if you go, it will say set SQL mode. These are all kind of DBA stuff, but it has the insert into statement. So if you wanted this, you could just copy this, right? So if you did that, it will basically what somebody did is they created it and then they reverse engineered it. Remember, so Zach sent out that beautiful script, right? So that's exactly what someone did. Somebody created it and then copied, put it. That's why you have that whole detail. There are a lot of SQL parameters and stuff. So I can definitely use this script also. Hey, so
You're not currently broadcasting.
oh, okay.
So let me just quickly. And in theory, we're live again. Sorry about that.
Okay. So I can also take that insert script. So good question, Upton. Let's do that. So I can also do this, but I will have to define it. Oh, no, it didn't get copied. You can see it's right here. So it's saying drop table if exists, and I can run this one. So this will create that dumping data for table, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, so basically it will do the same thing. So that's the script. It's nothing fancy. Somebody just probably did reverse engineer it. And so here, let me go back to where I was. So now I'm going to go into this table here and then do table import wizard and then browse. And here, and here, 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 and then finally here, the sources and the file. Okay, so I said open, great, open, and then next. Next, we're going to create a table. Yes, that's exactly what I want. In that database, I want an ice cream store table, an ice cream DB database. Great. This is why I cheated, because I wanted this to be an easy process for me. I didn't want to write a script this time. I just went in, I said, okay, well, I'm going to create a CSV much faster for me to initiate the thing, right? And so I have that. All these records from the CSV are picking up just fine. Flavors, everything, next. And then it's going to do these 2 steps. I hit next, boom, it's preparing to import. It's done importing. 6 records. 6 records should get written into that table. Okay, I'm going to quickly refresh my schema, reconnect, and look at the table that I just created. The table I created is ice cream store table. Ice cream store table has these 6 records, which with different flavors, different quantities, and prices. Everyone should understand how to do this. Everybody. This is really easy. Okay. Got it? Okay. Now, since we created that, let's go. And I'm just doing this exercise. Actually, I should have asked you guys to kind of do it, but I just want you guys to practice some more difficult stuff. This should be basic. Also, show of hands, who still doesn't have those packages or couldn't run the first code? Show of hands. The first code did not run. The AWS connection code did not run. Fancy? No. Johnny, 3. No. Yeah, everyone that got. Okay. Okay. Everyone that got. Okay. Couldn't run. Okay. Fine. This one will run because it's going to be a local host. Okay. So let's go. So you guys did this? Everybody imported this thing? Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so you guys are with me on that one. This is very crucial. This is the first time you guys are going to go in and basically create a connection. So now, if you have done the table, you have the table in your database, please start typing this code. Okay, this is what I want you guys to practice. This is importing the package from this SQL Alchemy libraries. Okay, create engine package. So write these few lines of code if you don't have it already, so you know.
There's also one change you're probably going to have to make to your own files. If you have a password on your root account, you need to add your password after that root.
Yes.
It should be root : your password.
And
I put an
brackets,
upload,
right?
not inside brackets.
Or not inside brackets?
Don't literally put them inside brackets. So that's just to try to demonstrate. I posted a string.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
post on
sure. Slack. Thanks. Yeah.
It's all I do is create a database, import the data, and then I went back and I just went back to run the other.
The other stuff, important stuff. Yeah, but you do not have the password yet, so that's what. So you have to do colon and set password. That's what he's like. So
Probably.
So here's colon and password, whatever password we have, right? We don't have a password yet because nobody decided not to have a password on it. But okay, so example, if Johnny's password is I don't know, pick a password, Johnny. That's not your password. Like DevOps. Let's say your password is DevOps. Okay, so your password should come as DevOps right here. Okay, this is your password string, whatever it is. Okay. So that's what is going to happen. Okay. So after writing those 2 statements, create a variable or a parameter that holds this connection name. Okay. And so go ahead and run this first. Boom, it works. Okay. So it worked. And now I'm going to go ahead and run this code. When I run that code, okay, there's a problem because when I created it, this was this. and this code, yeah, boom, it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone have this done?
I can't even get it. I can't even, I get these in line 4. Go to your, go to your. Okay, so I'm right here.
Email syntax.
Okay.
Oh, this is because you have at symbol in your password and that is a character.
Okay. I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, same here. Maybe I don't know. We can try that.
All right, guys. I can already see some smiles. It's working. For those who it's not working, I want everybody to finish the step before we go ahead, because we go from level 1 to level 5 easy, and then level 5 to level 10. So everybody has it. I did not do an underscore in my connection, my database, so that's why I don't have it. If you had an underscore, then you probably want to put it. Okay.
Yeah, you're not.
So go in here, right? That's why I'm saying.
Okay. So if you have the select query word, guess what? You can write anything that you're writing in Workbench in here, right? You can write group by statements, you can write where statements, you can write whatever you want, sort by, order by statements, and all that stuff you're writing in Workbench. As long as it goes to engine is defined line dot execute. Execute is a function. Two quotes, and then give the query. Close it with the semicolon. Also, you need the semicolon as well. Don't forget that. And then this is the standard thing for record in data print record. Okay. I'll give everybody to catch up. But this is the point where I want to look at this data in a little better format, so that we can use data frames. What library, Patrick, uses data helps us do data frames in Pandas? So you would have to import Pandas at the top as well. Once you do that, you guys work now, right? You know, just finding data frames and stuff. So if you want to get, as other people are catching up, if some people want to do guesswork and find out how you can do that, use your Pandas knowledge.
Oh, you know what? There's, I
And
the name.
find the name.
Yeah, I did.
And what's the table supposed to be?
Yeah. We're building up.
Good stuff, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So wherever it says root and following activities, if you're
Okay. So
Just use what? Yes, okay. Got it. Thanks, sir.
One day I just want to understand.
All records?
Still not sure what.
Oh, it's on below. Single record.
Like, so it says, from table, import suite. So it's like importing a library. suite.
Importing a function from a library, right? So this is a library. This is a function. Create engine is a function that gives these parameters, right?
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, if you can import the whole library, that's fine. We're being a little more sensitive on how much we want to implement.
Okay.
But there could be a reason why you want to do multiple functions that library can.
Oh, okay.
Right. You are able to print it? Okay. Who is still not able to print and needs to like start query? Everyone's with it? Okay, Sherry. Okay, we'll wait. Okay. So those who have done it, try seeing if how would you do pandas? Not difficult. What would you do? And also, okay, so of course you don't know all the functions. Maybe use Google. You know, this is a time. Use Google. Use. I want you guys to start thinking of that way too. Like, if I don't know, what would I do? So, in a minute, we will move on to the next piece. So I'm gonna actually go there right now and see what else can we do. So next one is read SQL. Okay, read SQL. Okay, so let's see this. And then that's the pandas piece, right? That I've been talking about. So you have a code. You know, you have that create engine. Of course, pandas we import as pandas as PD. That's an old news. You all know this. And just now I'm going to connect to a new to a database that's again online, and it's on Amazon AWS. Okay, so I have that. This is same connection. Con is instructing to connect. Okay, so you have that, and that's it. The read SQL function in pandas helps you read SQL. Okay, the read SQL function, read underscore SQL function, and then you have to connect. Okay, so that's kind of the format. You have that. If you ran that to your query, those who are trying to figure out if you ran that. So if I took this and ran it in the previous one, it will work. But anyways, look, pay attention here. Now when I do data.head 5 top records, Lauren was asking as well, how do I know what column names? Here, pandas will bring those column names. Okay, so boom, you're back to. So there are 31 columns, and you can see this data frame, a beautiful data frame, just like how you had tables, right? So the format again, key concepts here: create the engine, connect to your database, wherever that is, create a variable or parameter name connect that helps tell the SQL function to connect to this engine. Okay. And so then your data becomes pd.read SQL, select start from whatever you want, or whatever query you want, comma connect, and then you can go and preview the data. Okay. And the previewing data we all know as a head function we learned many months ago. Data head 5 plus top 5 columns. Boom, you get not just the data, you get the column names as well. Okay. So this is another tool in your arsenal, right? You are now, boom, you have SQL connected. You are doing APIs. Now you have SQL access. So pretty much getting close to reading anything from anywhere you want. Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Yes. Very good question. Yeah. So you have different ways of scheduling this online, and so there are tools that help you do it. Or if people are custom tools to run computer files too. I mean, there's tools like I mean, you can go as basic as Windows script file, right? If you have a server, you can have all these Jupyter notebooks in one folder. And then you can run. Then you use Jupyter at work, and what do you use for scheduling?
And that's it, right? That's all. And then
Which one?
line 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Spark.
And I use worker pool on.
Sorry. You need to add this.
Jupyter, of course,
After
has
you
interest
add
in
that.
selling you a lot of other products.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, right.
You're right.
Jupyter Hub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jupyter Hub is a paid product. I mean, nothing is what is paid, right? Just
Oh.
cash is what you have. But I've seen people going as basic as just filing a server, and then the next server just for all these. That's the cheapest way of doing it. Yes.
This might be more something.
Alright.
And then here.
Line 4 is
Oh, here is the.
oh yeah.
It's actually a file that is
Well,
already done for you, but having a timeout there. You're not able to execute it because of timeout. So okay, well, I'm seeing a lot of timeout errors. Was anyone able to run it on their ice cream database, this thing?
I was not able to.
You're not able to? Okay, let's try that. Let's see if we can if we can convert this in. So, give me a minute. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's timing out. So, what I'm trying to do is, what's that?
No, just looking on our databases back.
Yeah. Okay.
Select oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. So these are these.
Okay.
Go up to 160. The data. So this one here.
Okay. It's not giving paste option.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, paste. Yeah. Perfect.
What is the underscore
I'm just copying some of this code too.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Oh. Do you have your keys configured to something else?
Only control key works on that.
Oh, okay.
Been a while since I've used it.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah. eh. So what was I trying to do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. It doesn't work. Okay, got it. Okay, but I'm trying to modify it, but I'm not able to finish it in time. Did you guys were able to run it? Okay, good. So I was trying to change this one ice cream connector to connect to. I should be able to get that, but this one to connect to pandas and get the, for example, this one, I want to do PD dot the read SQL. Read SQL.
And then you need to give it a medium connection.
Yeah. No, that's right. It's so okay. Why did you go up there? Shift underscore SQL.
No, we never made that connection.
No, I need to. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see.
I works for it.
It does? Perfect. Okay, then we can move on now. That's okay. It works, right? Who hasn't been able to print a data frame? Show of hands. Okay. Okay. I'll give another 5 minutes.
Okay, those AWS examples are not going to be working while we're working on just
Network.
try to read the code and understand what it's doing. And I'm going to upload the solutions to the relevant activities so you can see what it's supposed to look like. The code itself works, it's just that AWS is refusing the connection.
It doesn't fake it. Yeah, no, it's not like they don't have access to it.
Is it right? Yeah, because it's not. Oh, that's right. Did you create any of the database for sensor? Oh, for sensors. Yeah, no. Because it's in the. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Took me a minute. I don't know what I was doing now. I was literally running the same code. It didn't run. So for those who are not able to um, connect to AWS SQL, this is an example how you can do it for your own MySQL database instance. Okay, so again, the concepts remain the same. You're importing SQL Alchemy library with create engine function from that. You are now importing pandas, right? And again, if you start importing mapping functions and all that stuff we looked at, matplotlib and all that stuff will work too. Import PyMySQL and all these things. Standard code. Next one, engine. Create engine MySQL. Okay. Root, if you have password, password at the localhost / your database name, ice cream DB. That's it. Connect. That's just how you do is a parameter, and then engine.connect helps you connect with this thing. Then what was that? Here after root, colon, and then password. Okay. Yeah, and then data equals engine execute SQL start from ice cream store for record and data. Print. I was able to print it. Example 2, data equals, now changing it, select star from ice cream store, no semicolon required, comma connect, data dot head will show this data frame, first 5 records. Okay, got it? So even if you weren't able to connect to AWS, you should still be able to run this concept with any of your databases. It could be Sakila, it could be the other one, World Database. All those data sets are visible. Okay, from your clear. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let's jump into an exercise. I think I've built on enough concepts now. So let's take you back here. Go ahead and in your open up the folder number 4. Okay, folder number 4. Fourth exercise says read all the sequels. And please open up the README, read the instructions, and start working on it. We'll get back, and I'll club this and work with a partner. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
This one is?
yeah.
Okay, no problem. So let's do this. Okay. I'll change the exercise. Query all the data from pick a table in Sakila. Okay. Query all the data from that table. Okay, query all the data and load in pandas. So use any two tables from Sakila. Actually, do this. When you do that, don't load all the records. Maybe Sakila has a lot of data in a lot of tables. So do one with a smaller count. And the second one, use a where condition or some kind of group by statement ran last, and then see if we can do that as well. So do one with the where statement and stuff like that. Give about 20 minutes. It's just for you guys to be more hands-on with this frame of mind, establish that before you go ahead and that. So I'm going to club that with a break, and let's get back by 8:05. Okay, and this is not an individual activity. So work with a partner and help your partner kind of figure out if he or she's struggling. You can also work at the role that you are sitting in. Right.
See,
Pick any data
data set.
Copy the
Which one are we choosing?
Oh, yeah. I'll query all of them.
No? Okay.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So really quick.
Go fill the service. MySQL.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. So
This is even not MySQL 57. Ah, that's not that. No. Did you ever have it?
What happened?
Yes.
That is interesting. No, that everything will be there.
Okay. We are around from the beginning.
But then you will have to read from the whole service location. That's the primary indicator.
Hey.
Can you start, if it
Oh,
went
because
away,
if you do
that
ID,
Oh, it's like, I didn't do, no, this one.
but it is not in that list.
Oh, this one.
oh, then you have to print.
Just disappear.
Oh, wait, I did it.
Yeah, then, oh, because Lena is not.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
This data.
Okay. Oh, the con.
It doesn't track.
Right?
We can do group life. Maybe we should do.
No, I wanted to stay there, but,
I don't use the password. Or
was it data?
yeah, because what the root password was, no, right? The root password goes with that source, right? Pretty much,
Jeff, when you run this attack for us,
Hold up, let me get out my hacking pod.
you type real hard.
Dude,
I didn't even know it came out. Where'd you go, man? Don't you know? Don't you know how to hack for
Also leave my.
Maybe you both type on the same keyboard. You can hack.
See the gym?
Yeah.
We're going one extra angle here. Okay, wait, banana.
Oh my god. Yes, that's how hacking works.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we doing now? All the records are zipped. What?
Left, right.
Oh yeah. You don't know. What's the name of that?
oh, yeah, the concept.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
So we should put it into just like it.
Oh, right. Do a subquery.
See. We need to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Remember to do.
Okay.
You see, you
Oh, I did.
which select thing? Did you get the select?
You know, from the
Okay.
from this work.
Because I saved my.
So, when does the break start? When does it end?
I want everybody to be done by 8:05. If you're done, go take your break. You know, if you're done, go take your break.
Send me that. I want to make sure. Just send me just give me another clear.
Okay, I'll flag it.
Yeah. So I can test it.
Sure.
I can help you out right now. What do you
It
want?
would just be like, what's the other data? What's the other table?
No, you can.
But then we got understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way.
You can just change it.
I changed it because I changed I put my dog in there.
Okay.
Oh, I think you are.
What is going on?
What are you doing right now?
Okay.
So take out the.
Yeah. You'll see when it's installed.
Mhm. Okay, so.
Okay.
Come on over here. Then what we did was this part right? And then you put the con at the end. Right? Let's go here. Oh, it's the next.
The whole thing, just copy it. But you're. But it's from Sydney.
Select city. Oh, what's this? Select. Okay. Okay. After the parentheses, what's oh, close it. Okay.
And then it took out the mic.
Password is password.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Where's the columns?
It's too long. You just went straight. Like that.
No, I just,
Did you do it?
what do you mean, what do you mean? I just press enter again.
Yes, but I just used to feel.
Yeah.
That's what I did too. I just did like progress in city.
Okay, so what we have now? Three other data census data, okay, zip data.
Oh, they
Zip
did
data.
something different.
Yeah. That's kind of what I did too. I was lazy. I was just like,
Oh, they did.
Okay, where's the zip data? See?
for that assignment, I'm just like, no, just as long as you're immersive, doesn't matter.
You want to do that? Oh, we're doing census. Yeah. You said Sakila. I added census in there. Yeah. Let's go to.
Oh, this is the one that you want to do. Remember, because of the That's why we're.
Yeah.
So,
But with census.
That's right.
Because if it was census, I saw the database. I wonder if we could just import it.
and let's.
I told him it. What do you say?
Census DB, census DB.
I'm like, this tastes like my coffee.
Just wanted to apologize for Matthew. I had a good friend. It was terrible. For you, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry. You guys have a SQL server now? Yeah. My SQL server?
This is all, like, everywhere.
This
I
is-
know all of that.
Yeah.
You know,
You have those living off the feed.
yes.
It's supposed to be a stream.
I copied it actually.
Go girls right now.
I know.
So I contacted,
Everyone else.
You said an answer.
Okay, pero, I still have to.
Yeah.
Right.
But he sent
They
it.
just got gone with it.
Actually, you know what? I didn't put in my request there.
Oh, you did?
I would put in my request to take Saturday.
It's be nice by not
Anything back?
maybe a good friend, coworker would. Yeah, it's like it's a joke. But you're gonna know someone really well or live in nothing. Like really likes to do it together.
No, I just did from here. I didn't like saying.
Oh, okay.
No, because I just went here. And then I request absence. Yeah.
This is for the.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. You don't need it. I went by these.
If you read the book, if you want to go deeper,
Yeah.
you can And
No, 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 no. The guy who's tutoring me is showing me a lot of the more intricate Python. Yeah. I'm still shaking. But if I read it, then I'll be like, okay, it makes sense. It's just I don't hopefully when I go on vacation, when we go on our 2 weeks, that I'll be able to like, just practice.
So do your best to keep up.
Yeah. I think you're right. I'll do the same. Yeah. I think you're right. I think I'll do the same. I'm definitely liking this sequel. It's starting to, yeah, it's starting to. The pandas are, the Python are still struggling.
It's hard to know.
Yeah. In my job, that's what we're all doing. Okay, a database team. Never did that. So, I say what they're doing is that they, I see those guys making over 100K money. So, yeah, they're all so I would rather get somebody that's here and then build them up and pay them less. That will do the same job. So yeah, or they, right now, currently, we're just using our counterparts in Bangalore. In India. Right? One or maybe 3 guys from India is one database guy. So, I'm gonna go check out some, I was looking at some training that they have database administrator. $200 training for certification. Yeah.
Like if you go online and then
No. No,
you
no,
go there.
if I go there, yeah.
Somewhere it says like super Chinese or something.
Look at Indians. Yeah, I was looking at them and those were my friends. Basically some things I was doing now. Let's say my work is there, right? And we're 24-hour. So if I go there and work the night shift there, it's daytime here. So we're already missing, manpower. You know what I mean? So, which means that I can actually go there, train, no, hell no, just the training. Not the training that I need to get my certification. A month.
Because I would be the guy in the back.
Yeah.
But
Work at night.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. I have to put it all together first and make sure that
Pretty sure that.
I want to get a certification. I feel that would come in, that would really solidify it. Because the main thing that they're going to ask is what are your experience?
You should be able to read.
Oh yeah, I'm still in so, oh yeah, I'm just been looking into it.
Oh, it's coming Christmas time.
Do you have a head person?
No, I got fired. Everybody got pirates.
I was thinking I could be assistant.
No. Yeah, I mean, when did this what? I want to give to them now. Hey, look, I'm willing to get the training before they still do that. They still stay efficient at work. You know what I mean? So they can say, oh, what was going
Like
companies very you guys see how nice stress is just yeah. But the train now will say that they're going to work home. How do they do your state of emergency? That's why a lot of the guys are all going to fall apart. I say originally, I'm like, something that I was hoping that I could do that. As a vacation better, this is more fun. You can live off like $20 a day. I just have to think not a presentation, but the way to present. I know the company is
it's easier to just go through
my goal is after that.
Okay, everyone, settle down. Okay, settle down, guys. Let's get going soon. Okay, so let's talk about next steps, right? So, guys, let's talk about doing next things. Everyone was able to run everything fine? Yeah, everything's good. Good stuff. Everyone, okay. Everyone, okay, good. So, how many of you have had any interaction with object-oriented programming?
in
One, two,
class.
three. Nice.
That last long time ago.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's right.
15 years.
So, you know what object is? Who can explain to me what that is? What is object oriented? What does object oriented? What?
Java object oriented.
Yeah.
So you're like Java, C, C++, all these are object oriented programming languages. What is an object?
Is it an instance of a class?
Instance of a class is an object? What is an object? Come on. Yeah. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
So object-oriented programming basically needs to meet some criteria that including inheritance and cancellation, and the object is the main thing with the ability to, for example, the class that you mentioned, the ability to instance the class, and you use it in different
Okay.
ways to work.
Very, very comprehensive definition there, but yes, that is what an object is. Object is an ability to use the methods of things like classes, functions, and methods in a way that you achieve certain tasks um, certain or a routine, whatever.
Make your code use
Yeah,
whatever it is.
like print this or do that. You can do that by defining certain things. So, classes, as some of you have mentioned, is a key concept in object-oriented programming. We're going to look at it really quickly. You can do that in Jupyter or in general in Python, and we're going to look at how we do it. But a common syntax for class and this is probably in a lot of different languages. So in Python, you can define a class. Class here, we're defining the dog as a class. And in that, define the init function, which is basically initiation of a particular object. Now you're going to initialize the object, and that's the format in the object. Then we have self, and it comes under this syntax of defining class dog. So class dog, and now you're saying that, okay, I'm going to initiate this thing, initialize this thing. So defining init self a name and color, self dot name equals name. That's a parameter. Okay, and the self dot color equals color. So pass those things. For example, how that works is this is an instance of a class. These are just technical ways of referring to these things. And probably that's the way of defining these things. Instance of a class, basically creating an instance of a class, is I want to have a dog that's named Fido and is brown in color. Okay, so that's you can define other ones, like you can do another dog with dog equals calling the class dog I don't know, hunter, and the dog to be black in color. Okay, so that, and then print dog name dog color. I think it's going to get confused here, but yeah, we'll definitely get confused here, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so what happened is here, it's going to print the last one that I had. Okay. Anyway, so this is just defining class and getting things in to that class and defining those what do you call classes and different instances of those classes. So the last one here, I can actually change this as a separate one, like dog1, dog2, something like that, and then I can run this again, and now it's Fido Brown. Of course, if I did dog2, we'll print the hunter, and stuff like that. Okay, so pretty simple. It helped us create a class called class dog colon next defining it right in that bracket, self name color, whatever that is, self dot name equals name, so the parameters that you pass and all that class can be created in the class. You get those parameters passed on to the name, color to the color. The first parameter is name, second parameter is color. You have now an instance of that class. Instance one was dog, instance two we assign it to dog2, and then we have the dog, we can print that. So just a conceptual basis, I think you're able to define those classes. Let's stop there. Is that good? Everybody gets how to do this? Good stuff. Okay. So let's stop there. And let's see what else. Okay, and then that was a class. A student, let's do this. So we want you to create a surfer class, right? A class named surfer, initialize with name, hometown, rank, instance variables, and then create an instance of a surfer, print the name, hometown, rank of the surfer object. So pick your, you can create a surfer class. If you like football, create a football class, then have a player and rank of the number, whatever you want, right? So create a class. You want to take it. I don't know if you know all the surf names. You surf class, like tennis, do a tennis class. What are we going to do? Class is the primary focus, area of focus in object-oriented programming. So we all must know how to define a class. Okay, that's one of it. Okay. Then we're going to look at methods and other things, but let's just first, everyone take 10 minutes, 5:25. I'm not going to help on this one. If you need help, call the TA. I mean, I'll help also, but trying to, trying to figure it out looking at the other code that we have. Right? It should be pretty simple. Replace dog with surfer and that's it.
Oh. Is that true?
Oh, it's 7 or 6. Oh.
Okay, actually, I take that back. Do the surfer class. Don't do anything else but surfer class. Okay, just don't try to do something new. We're gonna reuse those concepts, so just want you guys to do a surfer class.
Your code should look very similar to the previous. Like that.
So just stop when you create the surfer class, and then we'll go next.
No, it's self is the same as this words.
I just forgot my keyboard. Yeah, but you're using surfer here. Oh. Hmm.
These are white.
So, only one, two. Oh, right. So here's a few campus this self. That self is required. Oh, this is. So, which is like this object that's getting created. Say like self name. Okay.
The small one? What is the
It's okay.
wild?
Oh. If you read the readme, it probably asks you to do something. What are we? And there. This looks fine. You say yes.
Okay. Where was everyone able to print some surfers and stuff like that? Was that pretty easy? Not yet. Okay. These right, it's pretty much same. You just have another variable called hometown. So okay.
Basically, that's not, you can change it, right? It's not specific. Right. You can change it to this.
There are things you can do that you shouldn't do.
So keep it soft.
Yes. It's just a style thing. When you have a class, the first argument is self. That's the object that you're operating. That's the instance that you're.
The self.
If we switch it to this. Then I need to switch it to this.
FYI, class name should start with an uppercase letter.
Yeah.
It's a style thing.
Like this, we just want it to this.
Usually instances of that class start with an uppercase letter.
This way gets up.
Okay, who's still working on stuff? Printing Surfer. Everyone's done. Sydney, are you done? Okay.
Bonus part.
Yeah, no, don't try the bonus. No, honestly, just don't try the bonus. Yeah. All right. Okay, surfer. Okay, let's go look at this surfer stuff. Surfer. Okay. Hey, let's pay attention. Is anyone still working on stuff other than bonus part? No? Okay. So, okay. So little cool things, right? So you probably didn't do this plus whatever. But so I want to define. I was watching The Big Lebowski. I think a couple days ago. It's dude, right? How many times you?
Is it a Netflix?
Yeah, it's on
I always
Netflix.
think about that.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. Classic. So okay, well, class surfer. That's the definition of class. Definitely, as Nolan said, make sure capital letter. Okay. Um, define or initialize the function self. Always we do that. Self basically tells that within this class, then name of the surfer, which we have been asked for, hometown, and then rank. Okay. Of course, I can just do self dot name equal to name. I want to make it more interesting. I can say, well, Kelly Slater, surfer, then basically have a space, a little space between that, and then call that surfer dude. Okay. Then hometown, right? Blah 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 / waves, and self dot rank, and then the rank. Okay. So if I create an instance of this class, I will, let's say, name it with a lower letter, but I'm calling the class here and I'm passing what? Kelly Slater, Cocoa Beach, and then 1. Okay. And if I print it, because I had that space and dude name after Kelly's name, there will be a dude printed in the Cocoa Beach and waves and 1 printed. Okay. Is that fair? Okay. Do you guys do while loops in your VBA? Do you guys do while loops?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So who can help me read this one? Who wants to give it a try? No one? No one wants to? Okay. Krishna, come on. You haven't spoken in a long time. I won't call on you. Tell me how does a while loop work? Okay. Perfect. As long as go is true, it will keep running that. So go ahead here. Correct. Correct. Perfect. Okay. It's pretty much written there. Okay. And then I'm printing. Okay. Correct. Then this last piece. Explain to us what this last piece does. Not. And then if I say yes, then go is equal to, and if else, go is false. So that means this will not loop again. Marcus, you have something?
No.
Saw your hand.
Almost got it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay. Almost as good. So exactly. So basically, one of the reasons why we would use these object-oriented programming codes is it kind of gives a lot of flexibility and ways of asking for user input, kind of looping and all this stuff. It's after all a programming language, right? So just trying to figure out a while loop is while is basically while something is true, keep going, right? For loop is while something is incrementing, keep going, right? And so on and so forth until you. So while loop is a classic programming loop. If you're going for programming heavy jobs, definitely key to know how you can initialize classes, create classes that are robust, that are performance effective, and so on and so forth. I wouldn't say that's kind of the focus of this track, data science track, because I don't find a lot of people using creating classes, to be honest, in industry to go do super heavy programming on that front. But really good concept to know, especially if your job has any requirements around data collection and an automated way of getting data. So you could typically, and we'll go into those concepts, but here for this purpose, while go, you're basically collecting name, thanks Krishna, hometown, rank, and all those things. And then of course calling, creating an instance of it, printing this, check in from the user if they want to go again. If not, then it's done. So for example, if I ran this, let me run it from the top actually. So on this, on this, on this, this. Okay, so that got printed. On this. Okay, what's the surfer's name? Who surfs here? All right, Sydney. Sydney is a superstar. Sydney, AATZ. Right? Okay. Hometown. There you go. San Diego. San Diego. And your rank is 2. Yeah, come on. Would you like to continue? Safwan, you want to go next?
Yes.
Okay, yes, all right. Okay, Safwan, right? So this is basically what it lets you do, right, Safwan? Oh, man, Safwan, sorry. Just Safwan. What's your last name?
It's a big one.
Oh, come on.
You can say ASMED.
Yeah, Ahmed, Safwan Ahmed Munar. And Munar. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that's a pretty impressive name. Okay, hometown. Come on. Bangalore. This doesn't have a surf. There's no surf in Bangalore. Come on. Get something that has surf. Maldives. Oh, that's pretty good. Maldives. Beautiful place. I've never been. Has anybody been to Maldives? You have been to?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Of course, it's your hometown. 3. A second, maybe? Tie with Sydney? Okay, here you go. I'll give it to you today. Okay. Okay, that's it. Now, and I'll close the while loop. Okay. A little fun. We can do these things and print what we want and just programming 101, right? Got it? Okay. Move on. Let's next stuff. So that was a good exercise, hopefully. So we went through this. Let's go to number 8, which is classes with methods. Did you guys learn methods? Learn methods in VBA? Yes. Yeah, you did.
I learned that.
Okay. I'm here to laugh. Joke here. Come on.
He always raises and has some questions.
See you advice on new methods. It's like, yeah, I got a coding job and that's it.
Okay.
But he didn't Java.
Okay, what is language? What is methods in Java? Means methods in Angular.
They're like functions and
Light functions.
similar to functions in Python.
That's not accurate. Is it? Is it how methods just like functions? They're different. Different. What's the difference between them? Well, let's go to this example. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. Here's a class. By now you should be getting comfortable looking at how to define a class. Class film, where you have name of the film, length of the film, release, and language. Okay. So you have name, length, release year, and language. For example, Star Wars, right? Name, of course, Star Wars. Length is 121 minutes, released in 1977. Language is English. So we now have an object that belongs to the class film. Now we're defining another class, expert. Define expert is just a name, an expert that knows about this, let's say, film. Now a method, okay, is going to take the object as an argument. Okay, what's the object here? What's the object here? Object, Sydney, what is the object here? Method takes object as an argument.
The object is self.
Is self? No, the object is what? Right, the class. The class, right? The class film, right? Yeah, it is the object, right? Okay, because class object oriented, right? So it's going to, the method is going to accept our object. It's not necessarily like a function. Function can accept objects, can accept parameters, variables, values, all that stuff. This is going to method accept objects. Okay. Here the object is that film. Okay, and then it's saying, well, once you get that, do this whatever. Print the name of the object. First print the name of the expert, which is self.name, and then object is that film, right? Film class is the object. Print the name of the film, and then all these things. It is whatever object length, 121 minutes long. It was released in object.release year 1977. It is in object language English. Okay. So at the end of it, okay, when you run this, and then you say, well, I want to define an object to the film class and pass expert as George Lucas, and I say superfan dot boast Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars is something that we define here, the object in this case. Okay, so you see we had the boast method, which takes object, and here our object is the film, which is Star Wars. That Star Wars is passed. It will basically, because the expert initialized as George Lucas, it will say this statement first, because now you're going to this method boast, right? You know, the way you call it is you want to call the expert class superfan that we defined, and dot boast, a method, right? A method that is in there. It's kind of similar to function, but look at, it's now going to take Star Wars as an object, as a parameter, and it's going to print, hi, my name is George Lucas. I know lots about Star Wars. It's 121 minutes long and it was released in 1977, and it is in English. Okay. Yes.
You have more than one object, or say you make another.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know which one to choose.
Name. You will. So I will create another object, right? So as we created. So for example, if you had another one, like for example, take a film, like which one, like Finding Nemo.
300.
Okay, 300. Okay. Okay. Well, let's take a character film. Goodfellas. Okay. Good underscore my keyboard typing skills are shot because I am not used to this. Yeah, it's interesting. Little spacing on the keyboard can make a difference. Okay. No, it doesn't. It's good. Film. Okay. Okay. What's the film again? Goodfellas. Okay. Who knows how long it was? The 150. When was it released? Come on, I'm gonna put you as an expert on this one. You know that.
1990.
1990. Okay. And then it's in English. Okay. Okay. So now you have that, right? Oh, no caps as much as. Yeah, so let's do this. Good. And delete. And fellas. Okay. So this is your another film that you define here. Okay. And now, okay, that's good. And then we would do. I would say I'll call superfan 2 equals expert and give opteen. Okay, I'll skip the last name for now. So that's that. And then if I want to say superfan dot post 2 dot post, and then I can say good plus hi. Okay, let's do 1. Let's take this guy out for now. Okay, something happened here.
There's something else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is in caps. Yeah, it's something where Star was being done. Okay, that we can do. Let's do that. Okay.
Understanding. I'm with you up until you get to the.
Okay.
Like what? Why do you do this? Big picture on it.
The big picture on doing it is basically why do we do programming? The concept is basically we want to have repeatable tasks that like that's how the whole thing started. So if I'm going to have computer do repeatable tasks, I kind of have to have some kind of algorithm that kind of runs the computer's way of doing things. So people came up with different ways of interacting with computers. First, it was just microprocessors, and I don't know how deep I want to go, but then the computers have chips, right? And they need buttons and zeros. So the first compiler that was found is microprocessor. And what a chip is basically alternating currents. Okay, so imagine you have a chip. Only that thing that the computer knows is whether there's a current or no current. Right? So that knows that thing, right? So that's your chip. Now you have that chip. First early days of programming, and let's say current is 1 and no current is 0. Unlike super simple. Okay? Current is 1 and no current is 0. The first compiler just read binary values and did math. Okay, so every time chip would know 7 series of 8 bytes of information will become one number, and you can have numbers all the way up to millions of numbers because of the binary combination. There's a binary conversion factor and all that stuff. So basically, that was your first hexadecimal or decimal converter that were in the chip that could do basic arithmetic, right? That's how it on top of it, as the chip progressed in scale and things that they can do, there were programs, right? Programs were basically somebody coming in defining, so every single letter here you see computer, nothing but a 0 and 1, right? So that's basically what it did. And so they defined all these ways of doing the tasks. Somebody doesn't have to sit exactly to the case, right? those are programs. Now in programs also, that involves that somebody has to do some more critical tasks. So for example, if I wanted to keep asking people, and first initial things were like, we'll take this and then push it into a disk. So CPU takes the input, looks at what disk, and push it into a disk. Disk is your hard drive. Hard drive is nothing but a series of storage which has ones and zeros on top, right? And so that becomes your data. Okay. So all this is just a wrapper on doing things. And so now back here, classes are a way of doing multiple things. Right? So if I define a class, then I have told the computer, hey, in this way, I'm going to pass you a lot of stuff, like dog name, dog color, whatever that is, or certain name, certain home. And now methods are another ways of like basically doing it over again in different places. Okay. Then libraries and then functions too. We learn functions. Functions are also doing these things. So now we're just learning all these things. And then came libraries. Libraries are grouping of functions and classes, functions may have classes, methods, all that stuff. Right? So those are libraries. So back to libraries right now. Okay. And then we use those libraries to avoid other recruiter tasks of adding something, doing something. And then, so then after that, we're going to apply that thing. So that's kind of the life cycle of whole program. Does that make sense? It starts with call comments.
I think I didn't ask the question.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was really well done, so I enjoyed it. No, but just when we get to the boast, just the boast section.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
I actually was curious about that.
Okay.
Those is a method, which is a lot like a function, except that first argument itself is the past tense instance of. So when we create an expert,
Yeah.
we say, so
Here.
Oh, this one.
This one.
in the whole code block where it says expert Lucas, you're creating an instance of an expert. When you call superfan.post, it passes them that instance so that you can access the superfan attributes.
Did you get that
I
one?
got it.
Sorry, where are you confused?
So yeah, so okay, so the expert class is film.
Okay, maybe let's go through this again. Is everyone clear? Did that make sense? Or
So-
is that making sense?
So when you call, you call the method both, right?
Yep.
So when you call it, then it does the printing of this statement. Is that what saying?
Correct, it does, but it also accepts a
The
movie as its what do you call it?
as an argument.
As argument, yes.
So that both it does the printing
It
and then
doesn't work right now.
it uses the info from the Okay.
Yeah. We really want you guys to be comfortable with this. Is that
It's like like a sequencing, right?
it is like a sequencing?
Modeling it down so that you
Correct. Exactly all the information. And do it in a repeatable way. Yes. Yes.
So the INIT, that like initiate.
Initiating the
So anything below that we want to define, kind of goes underneath that.
Yeah.
Anyway, like.
Yes.
I'm trying to get
Yeah, underneath. Yeah, init is also it's also a function required to do this, right? So somebody has already written it and it kind of starts doing that magic stuff. But again, I think it's just so you can I don't remember, but VBA, what did you guys learn? Like what did you do exactly?
just not the name.
It was like a whole thing.
Okay.
It was simple. We didn't do class. Yeah, we didn't do class.
Okay. You didn't do it. Okay. Cool. Okay.
So in this case, you will be able also to find OBJ1 and OBJ2, just pass like a manifold
Yeah.
input
Multiple objects, yeah.
and call.
Class can have multiple objects. Yes. Yes. Okay. There is an exercise. I think. Let's see how much you guys can get to in 10 minutes. Really, literally, I want this, you guys, for you to understand the concept and struggle a little bit with the syntax if you can't solve it. But it's just hands-on practice. So don't get every lot of time that people get disappointed. And I'll be telling you since day one, don't worry about the syntax. Worry about the concept. Okay. So go ahead and maybe even if you have to look up here and like basically write it down as it appears here, that's fine. Do look and help and stuff like that. But go to README first and see what it wants you to do. This one is a little longer than what we can cover before we end for the day. So, and I want to definitely be on track. Okay, so you want to create a surfer class that has name hometown. You already used it, right? You've done it somewhere. And now the next one that we are adding is wipeouts. Create a method called speak that prints hang loose bra, and then biography that prints surfer's name and location. A method called cheer. I think we just can, if we can do first two, method called speak and biography, that's more than enough. And create two surfers. Yeah, and then create two surfers that print out. So literally, don't worry about this part. Too much, not necessary. And please don't worry about the bonus. So, okay. So this much, 10 minutes. I know that's aggressive, but right. Yes.
Yeah. But I know we created
Surfer class.
surfer.
We did create a surfer class last time, right?
Okay.
Like that's why I said like. Oh, okay.
My bad.
Okay.
So name, hometown aren't gonna be a method.
No, they're the class. They're of the class surfer.
They're the class.
They're in the class surfer.
Okay, but they're
Recommend
just floating in
starting
there.
with
They're
surfer
not
class
in
from your
method.
previous activity.
They're just floating around.
No, they're not. They're just you're supposed to define the class.
Okay.
So did you define the class last time?
Uh,
The surfer class? Can you pick up that surfer class and use it?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't finish it. Okay. Okay. Well, test your activities or the different folder that you have downloaded the files from.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are the? Is this surfer?
No, this is.
Can you check other files? Maybe you have a surfer class. So you don't have to do it again. Yeah. But that may not.
There's only an
uninstall. Can you go back? You know, you don't have. Well, why don't you define it? Last time you didn't do it, right? You will define surfer class. Surfer class can be defined the same way as how you define the dog class, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave some of this up here. You guys
Let's go.
You. I'm not going anything.
Okay.
Nice coffee there.
That's interesting. So for okay.
It's an invitation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
I just don't see it. Copy this to this way. And seems fine.
Oh, it's another.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Is there a space after that? I think that's it. No. No. Okay, that's it. And then South. I don't think that's it. But after name, or is there a space after name? Okay. Very close to the focus sign, like right after the sign. Oh.
This is fine. This is correct.
Is this a solve one? Or is this a check one?
We have some.
Yes.
Okay.
This is when we label the initial variables, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then make the next one variable statement and list those variables.
No, because that's a method.
Okay.
So, look here, I'll show you. So bio, you just need self. Yeah, thank you. Bio. Because you're gonna pass object that you define, which is your server object. Okay.
I don't know what's happening. There's some, I don't know what should be.
What is a bypass? What a bypass is? When you fall.
Yeah, wipeout, you don't have to worry about.
False or something?
Yeah, don't worry about wipeouts. I mean, it's just a concept of. Okay. How's it going, guys? No? Yes? No? Okay. Yeah, not surprising. It's not, typically you start with hello world kind of stuff and just getting advanced the everything. Okay.
So I did this right here, but when I'm creating the surf, I have needed to do the self right here.
No, you do not. No. You don't have to say self. You just say comma, and then San Diego. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. Let's see. So you guys are doing the 09 exercise, right? Yeah, yeah, Sydney. What's up? Oh, you seen it. You don't have to do it. That's not how we get fine. Did you look at the dog? Dog exercise?
I looked at the
Look at the dog.
this one right here.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. Okay.
Yeah, I just
So see how the object gets initiated.
Yeah.
So like this, you have surfer equal to surfer.
Oh, okay.
Comma, hometown, comma, all that stuff. Okay, so you have to do it that way. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Right? We didn't tell you that. Yeah, thank you. But you can
FYI, it needs to be double underscore and double
so you don't
underscore.
have to exclude your connection.
It's called Dunderscore. That's a stupid term.
Three would be underscore.
Yes.
No relevance.
And then I had speak like.
Not really a file right now.
So I didn't have it in.
But then if you just, but if you like, it's
That's the service on single underscore is like private. Underscore is yeah. I really have.
although if you're in German, it might be
Well, oh well. Language is no longer compatible. You have to speak English.
Actually,
Right. So
I'm pretty sure it translates it from whatever your language you use. Because I've seen on code.
Oh, so don't get
Super fan. And it Google translate everything, but yeah. I mean, not like when it starts putting in long strings of like information, Google stuff.
Keyword, mostly to stop. Oh.
Well, I would imagine that.
No, so then they did. So.
They say, hey, he's up. Actually, we don't know. I know it exists.
okay. Okay, let's look at this. As we're approaching close to 9:30. This was again, as I told you guys, this is something that for you to grasp the concept and go from there. So how would you do it if you had to do everything in 10 minutes? You can't. So look at this. So class surfer, you can create like a count, and these are concepts that you should understand now. So surfer count is 0. You can initialize it, right? And then define or DEF, initialize this self, name, hometown, rank, and wipeouts. See how you can also initialize these variables or parameters inside of this definition. So outs is equal to 0 to begin with. And so in this way, this is defined under the class. I can increment it every time I initialize the surfer creation. Okay. So self name, hometown rank, wipeouts, and then this is bonus. Okay, pretty much. So surfer count plus equal to 1, which is increment it by 1. So when you say surfer count plus is like surfer count plus whatever is on the equal to on the other side of the equal to sign. If I added 2, then we'll increment it by 2. Methods, okay. Class methods. There are 4 different methods in this class, okay. Surfer count, okay. Total surfer shredding waves. This is a format to pass an integer, okay, %d, okay. And then whatever you want to pass goes on the outside, %surfer dot surfer count. Why surfer? Because this surfer count is dependent on which class, surfer class, okay? Is everyone with me? Is this clear? Questions? No, okay. Prints out simple string, okay? Define speak self. This is basically just surfer lingo, right? Basically saying hang loose, bro. Let's get pitted, right? Right, Sydney? Yeah, let's get pitted. Okay. There's a really good. I don't know if you guys are on Instagram. There's a channel called Cook Slams. Have you seen that? No. Okay. Well, you should. You're a surfer. It's really funny. Def. No. I'm saying he's a surfer. You should check it out. It's funny because it shows all these funny goof ups by surfers, and they fall, and I don't know how they stay alive after that. But define biography, self print. My name is from printf. Of course, printf is another way of printing things. I don't know if you have learned of the languages in C and C++, printf, F comes out, whatever. This is all syntax stuff. But what it's doing is basically biography is getting 3 different surfer attributes. These are called attributes: name, hometown, rank, wipeouts. These are attributes. Hometown, attribute, rank, and all that stuff. Okay. So here it's saying my name is Sir Sydney. I am from San Diego, and rank number 2. I've wiped out 0 times, 5 times, whatever that is. How many times? Many times, right? 1,000 times, right? Yeah. Define cheer self. If wipeouts equal to 0, I've totally rock man, no wipeouts. And then printf bummer bra, keep on keeping on. Okay, whatever that is. So wipeouts equal to 0 now. Anyway, so when you call, so now going back to Sherry's question, why are we doing this? Why do we want to do this? Surfer, we initiated with this, we created with this Kelly Slater. And then we go on with printing the name of the surfer, hometown rank. So Kelly Slater, Cocoa Beach, 1, and number of wipeouts is 0. Of course, if we do speak, that's the surfer lingo, hang loose, bra. And then biography, my name is Kelly Slater. I'm from Cocoa Beach, rank number 1. I wiped out 0 times. I totally rockman because this is the one when you have 0. Totally rockman, no wipeouts. Total surfers, shredding waves, 1. Okay, because why? Why is this 1, Johnny? Total surfer shredding with
0.
What?
If
Where's this 1 coming from? Surfer count. Okay, where is surfer count? See, at the end, we're calling this function. I told you earlier, like you have a surfer count, right? You have a surfer count equal to 0. Every time I create a surfer count will plus 1, right? So I created Kelly Slater, who was my first surfer. Surfer count became from 0 to 1. Okay, and then I called at the end here surfer count. So this method will print 1. So total surfer shredding, because if you see the method, where's that method? Surfer count is total surface shredding waves %d, which is a number. Past surfer count, this is 1. That's why 1. Okay. Okay, everybody with me? This is just how you use it. Second surfer. Now I'm creating a surfer called Johnny Breezy. John Breezy. Spring Lake 110. Same thing. I have this. I wiped out 10 times. Somehow I initialized that wipeout to 10. Yeah, I wiped out 10 times. Bummer bra, keep going on. Total surface shredding waves is 2 now because it is the increment from 1 that we had earlier. Okay, so this is only helping you keep counts of that and stuff like that. Okay, everyone with me? I know this was not an easy way to write this, but you will get there. You guys know. So for now, that's it about that. Let's look at this little piece of code, and then I'm gonna skip the exercise and have you guys do it at home or later. Okay, so let's see line by line and what this is trying to do. This is basically we're trying to do more with this library SQL Alchemy that we imported, and so you have you basically need create engine. Create engine is to create that connection to your database. Then you have there's something called as declarative base, right? So methods needed to abstract classes into tables. So we'll look how this can abstract a class into a table. Very useful, right? So this is kind of getting closer to answering Sherry's questions, why are we doing this, which I gave insanely long answer to. But anyways, allow us to declare what? So I want to take you from creating a semiconductor to why we program. That's it. From SQL Alchemy, import column integer string float, import PyMySQL, basic stuff. Okay, so pay attention. We're going to create a default base. Okay, don't worry about what a base is. Let's go through it first. Okay, so dog base. This will serve as the anchor points for all our tables. This is anchor point for all our tables. We're now creating. Look at we are initializing the class as we declared it, but now we are initializing it as what a table name. Okay, so we have a dog table name. ID. We're telling. So basically, this is like creating your table in SQL, right? Looks familiar, right? This is just a way of doing it in your Python, right? So you're basically creating a class, table name, that will be that class, and then same you do for cat. Okay, same thing. Okay, now look at the fun. So you now get to create. This is how you create those. You create those values to create objects, right? This is how you create those objects. So dog, Rex, Brown, age 4, and cat, Felix, Gray, 7 are 2 objects that are created in these classes. Okay, this class objects. Okay, I have that. And engine and connect, we learned that creating an engine connection and then connect. Now, once we have that, this is just a statement that you should have because it creates a metadata layer. What is metadata? We will get into it later, but if you're just creating this engine to connect all that stuff. Okay. Again, if you want to drop and clear out the database, so it's basically, if you have create a meta that abstracts to a SQL database, so we are creating this. Stay with me for a little bit and you'll see what happens then. And then so you have this ORM. Probably not. I'll send some document on what ORM is. It's a long concept, but just a syntax. So if you had if you want to create objects, if you want to create tables in a database with the objects that you define, okay? If you want to create tables in a database with the objects that you define, okay, you need to have this library also, okay? And then you have to pass this session parameter an engine value, which is your connection value, okay? These are the must. There are 4 or 5 steps here that are must. Just how you create a database connection. I'll go over these again. Create the database connection. This we know. This tells to go connect it. This is something similar as your object, right? So if your engine was your class, connect is your object. Method, okay? Like what you're seeing earlier. Okay, now that's it. So now using the SQL to insert statement using classes, okay? So we created that. If you do session, which is basically connecting to that database, right? And you have it, then you can start adding dog, cat, and then you commit, okay? So what this will do, it will actually go and add this dog, Rex, Brown, age 4, and if you do add cat, it will go add Felix, Gray, and age 7 into that database, okay? Whatever database that you have connected to, wherever that is, okay? So let's look at it. And then if you run it, if you query dog for doggy and dog list, whatever that is, doggy.name, you get Fido and Rex, you get these kitty names. The idea here is it's showing you how to create a table, within a database, how to add values using classes, okay? So we learned these classes. There was a point why we're learning it. We're looking at creating these classes that act as a way for us to capture value of a record and then throw it in the database, okay? Now that kind of starts slowly taking us towards creating a web framework, like website or something that has been coded in a language, and then accepting user values. Okay, accepting user values like credit cards, and store them in a database, the password. Accepting values as first name, last name, creating their email accounts and creating all that stuff, taking all that stuff, and then putting it into the database. That's how close we're getting there. Right? Okay. However, I don't want you guys to stress about how much this is. A good idea for you, a good exercise, other than doing. Remember we created that table of ice cream baby. Ice cream baby. A good way to do a good practice exercise would be use this code, okay, and use it to add more ice cream flavors, price of that ice cream, quantity of that ice cream in the store, and so on. Okay, use this one because you will be able to create a class called ice cream of a deep whatever ice cream store or whatever, and then have those class objects created. Those class objects then connect to like SQL database. Start writing. So that's a very good way. Just practice for now. Don't ask why, and then we'll get to using why. Okay. But that's about it. I think the only other thing that's remaining is this last exercise. And again, in the interest of time, I want to hit most of the stuff. You can go. We'll post the solution, but if you want to try this one, try it definitely. As little longer than 10, 15. And if you want to stay back and work with us on this one, that's fine too. We prefer that. But this is basically taking Surfer, same thing, creating classes. You can either do the ice cream exercise that I said, or you can either do this one. But this one, you don't have it created right now. So you already have that created, whichever you like. Either of the two, pick one which you want to do, and then go from there. I think that pretty much concludes today's class. Nolan, do you have any announcements? Sanya, do you have any announcements for class?
review session tomorrow. I'm gonna post a quick. I'm gonna post in class announcements asking for ideas if any of you want something covered. Otherwise, meet tomorrow at 7.
Okay.
Unless, is Tuesday at 7 a good time for people? Tuesday for first or raise your hand for Tuesday at 7. Raise your hand for Thursday at 7. Nice, Tuesday still wins.
Okay, so guys, go revise these concepts. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Neil, just real quick, I am going home to the Bay Area this weekend.
Okay.
Just want to let you know that. So,
Okay. Are you gonna attend remotely or anything? Or?
yeah, I definitely want to do that, and I did put it in on the put in a request on boot camp.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
it's the only time I'm actually gonna go home. I'm not gonna go home for
Oh man.
holidays or
Well, enjoy with your family.
yeah.
Hope
So
you
it's the
guys
only
have a
time
good
I'll be able
time.
to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's how.
Don't switch.
I'm like, okay, I need to learn this because I'm sure that this will in the database too later, but like this is also super easy.
Oh, the class. Well, do you?
That is true. So clearly this weekend is going to be I frequent.
But he's done.
Over in Convoy. Well, it's actually like right across from me once too. I was practicing up there. I'm sorry. In my opinion, I've recommend that just because the songs are very cheap. Yeah, they're not as like crazy. They're like the crazy like high level like these guys are like graduate from places, especially ones. Exactly. But it's cheap to get done usually most of the time. Unless you're going for something really hard working.
Yeah.
It's with Dustin. No, we're gonna meet class. Seriously, still just a little bit. That's really. Also, have you tried meeting? Because the process is very slow. Now, grab a press. Do you want me to pull them in for this? This and yeah. Is that far away? Oh, you're in Pleasant Valley? Well, I know this. Well, yeah, this one is in La Jolla, so it should be like right across. It's like just down the street. Yeah, it's exactly.
I didn't, you know what? I don't know. Like, gotta keep asking you. So I didn't yeah.
Italian places.
Well, you know, Rich and Google, not cheap.
Okay.
That's what you know.
Yeah.
I think so.
Here and there.
Yeah, so I'm getting an SSD. Everything else is fun. Like, why would I change my whole laptop?
Is that
I think it's like really exactly. It's really nice, expensive laptop. Like, I don't want to change it. Because I don't want to spend $1,000+ But the problem is, I can. I decided to.
You don't want to listen to me. I love it. Because I spend the night, because I'm in Brooklyn, and I say, hey, go in the Best Buy and buy
It's nice. And oh, the virus checkup, everything comes up okay, just the hard drive is okay. So I think we will, and I think it's this I get it. So that would be a markup. It's really high.
Find this one.
I wasn't saying that I want to do anything.
They don't give you space for video games. You believe me, babe. Oh my God. Oh, okay.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, why don't you,
No, I was
no, is that actually how you pronounce it? I have no idea.
That's not as much as I can. That's what it is. I know one time, but I was at the laptop and I brought